Hi everyone, this video is dedicated for Holoviews visualization. Visual representation of any set of data, no matter how large or small, is always a good idea. Now just look at this particular graph. FYI, I have taken this from user guide provided by Holoviews itself. I am an absolute fan of their user guide and I totally recommend it. You can even show many graphs with just one click and less processing time. If you compare it with JavaScript graphs like d3.js, as I've worked with d3.js, I know what a pain it can be if you are dealing with a huge data set. Anyways, let's not get into that and let's simply get started. So now please pause the video, start your Jupyter notebook and install Holoviews Python package if you haven't already done this. Let's import Holoviews as HV. HV is the keyword that we are going to use to represent Holoviews. We will use Bokeh as backend. Bokeh provides a powerful platform to generate interactive plots using HTML5, Canvas, and WebGL. Here I have taken a very simple example as I wanted to show you that what format of data set it actually accepts. When you know it from the very basic, you know you can do a lot of experiments with it. So here is the Resident Evil franchise and corresponding IMDb ratings dataset. In order to plot a scatter plot in Holoviews, you will be using hv.points and simply the dataset whatever dataset that you are using, you will be providing that dataset. Label is something that provides a heading to your plot. So let's get real. In this particular plot, we cannot see the X labels. X and Y are not defined. We don't know what this 6.8, 6.6 means. And scattered points are so small they're hardly visible. It's all because it is using the default behavior of the Holoviews. We can actually manipulate it using ops keyword. Since it's a very small issue for Holoviews, let's see how we'll fix it. So we will be using ops for this and we'll need to import ops from Holoviews package. So that's the way to go for it. Okay, so we'll begin with small changes like changing the X and Y label, changing the size of bubbles, changing the color of their points, and height and width of the plot. Okay, so we have already plotted scattered plot in our previous slide. Now we will be just adding dot ops in the plot and start providing one by one whatever we discussed like X label, Y label, size, color, width, and height. So just I wanted to tell you that when you are providing height and width to a plot, it actually contains or includes the label names as well. So still our work was not done. X labels were still not properly visible, and I don't want to change the height or width of the plot. So let's simply interchange X and Y axis, and that can be done just by using one keyword. This is invert underscore axis. So now you can see that in and I have simply added this particular property also, invert axis, to be true, and now you can see that movie titles is started showing on Y and IMDb started showing on X. Okay, so our work was done. Anyway, let's start by combining these plots. So you can actually so we need to actually plot another another plot for it, and let's select curve plot for this particular thing. So in order to plot curve, we'll be using hv.curve. See how simple is this. I have simply written hv.curve and provided the data set. Also along with it, I have provided the ops. and same set of properties which I have used before I am using here also. So it's as simple as that. So now we have a scatter plot and curve plot. So when you multiply two HV plots, this is the result. Here you can see the curve and scatter starts to overlap each other. You can also plot these side by side or on top of each other. So for plotting it side by side, you simply will be using the addition, and when you want to plot it on top of each other, you will be providing dot calls one, which actually says that you will be showing all plots in one column. Okay, now you can actually export all this plot and into a HTML file and simply integrate it with your front end using iframe or whatever, or however you wish to, and simply send over emails. That also works. So okay, so here we have actually completed many functionalities of static Holoviews plot, but you should know that we can actually create a dynamic plots also, in which we will be providing like with each click on plot, I will actually show another plot which dynamically changes depending on what detail it captures on the tab. And that is something which I will cover in my next video. So stay tuned. Goodbye.